your shoes on?
Yep.
You have your teeth in? We're ready to go. Hello, my name is Mark Femmel, the pastor at Zion Lutheran Church in Maryland Heights, Missouri, the northwest corner of St. Louis.
And I'm a pastor kid, Cozy Femmel at Zion Lutheran Church, Maryland Heights, Missouri, in the northwest corner of St. Louis.
And I'm another pastor kid, Christy, at Zion Lutheran Church, Maryland Heights, Missouri, in the northwest corner of St. Louis.
And we'd like to welcome you to this week's edition of Words on Wednesday.
Wow.
You might wonder why there are 3 hosts to our Words on Wednesday today, and it's honestly because we had so much extra money in the budget, we had to blow it on something. I'm kidding. We actually decided to do this because these 2 are fruits of the hard work that you do when you go out into the field of your classrooms. Both of these kiddos have gone to Lutheran preschool, Lutheran kindergarten, Lutheran grade school. She's starting Lutheran high school, and they're even talking about going to Lutheran college so they could be Lutheran school teachers. That's how well you're doing. And this is just 2 examples of the great work that you're doing. So to help you and inspire you to start this new year wonderfully well, we want to let you remember, help you remember who is really at work when you're doing your thing. So we're going to have a pastor kid read from 1 Corinthians chapter 12.
There are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. There are varieties of service, but the same Lord. And there are varieties of activities, but it is the same God who empowers them all in everyone. To each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good.
So what's neat about this verse is probably that you heard it when you were being installed or commissioned, is it talks about how when you do what you've been gifted to do, you're not just doing what God told you to do, but instead you are actually bringing God into a situation. God is at work through you when you're teaching. So when you're grading papers, God is at work through you to give each of your students a customized education plan. When you are the person who's in the situation when a student acts in a bad way and you give a loving redirection, you are bringing to that situation God, as he says, you are not the value of your last mistake. You get a new start, a talk through, a forgiveness, a redemption. Earlier in the book of 1 Corinthians, Paul talks about how church workers are like oxen. 1 Corinthians 9, and he's quoting Deuteronomy 25. And in this text, he calls church workers like oxen. And I hope that you consider this as you're looking at your classroom. Your classroom is like the yoke an ox wears. An ox, when he's sitting in the barn, or a teacher sitting on summer vacation, isn't doing as much as they could do if they're just kind of hanging out and just relaxing and recreating. But as soon as the ox gets out of the barn and puts that yoke back on, he can do amazing things. Earlier today, we had some toaster pastries, didn't we?
Yep.
And before now, in previous generations, those toaster pastries were brought by oxen pulling plows and wagons and farmers and all that stuff through the fields and down the streets. Your classroom, your class is your yoke. Now, if you pay attention to the whiteboard that isn't always working, if you pay attention to the lighting that may not be great, or that window that got a crack, or that kid who's just always annoying and just can't quite get it, or that family that doesn't really care all that much, you're going to be disappointed. But don't look just at the yoke. Instead, look at what you get to be a part of. You get to be a part of God, inspiring the next generation, to inspire the next generation. You're not just inspiring the next generation, you're inspiring the next generation to inspire the next generation. What you do is precious and holy, and God notices every time that you're called out of your comfort zone to make a sacrifice. You bring God into situations where only you can do. Just like an ox, only an ox can pull that plow the way an ox can do it. So as people who have been gifted by a lot of the teachers who are watching this, Cozy, is there anything that you'd like to tell them?
Thank you for building us up and praying for us, even when we're like on summer vacation or a break, and thinking about us when we're not with you in the classroom.
Thank you for just inspiring us to share God's love with others, and thank you for being our teachers, and please come back next year to help us learn about God more and every other subject.
All right, so let's see how good you are at teaching kids how to pray. Cozy, you're up.
Dear God, thank you for our great certification, and please help us to have a great year this year, and thank you for each teacher and each student and each classroom and every school that makes everything function. And thank you for each moment that we get to have together. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace. Welcome back.